Hola, Ursula here from Simply Cuba Tours. Today I actually have a challenge for you because as I was coming on to do this recording, I was thinking, how cool would it be if I actually figured out how to be in the picture talking to you and showing you some amazing pictures of the places that I'll be telling you about. I haven't yet figured out how to do the two in one. So today's challenge is whilst I'm talking to you or after you watch the video, please do yourself a favor and look up the places that I'm telling you about today so you can actually admire their beauty and just bathe in the lush green that you will see and find yourself. Or look at the beautiful, rare, magical bird species and animal species that you could find here. And maybe tell me which one was the one that you enjoyed the most. All right, let me tell you about what I'm going to tell you about. Today, I want to talk to you about the Biosphere reserves of Cuba because they are a large part. It is something that actually really excites me, seeing that there is 12% of Cuba that is protected, and there are 6 biosphere reserves around the country where you will just find the most beautiful habitats of for the animals that are around, for the birds that are around, and I will tell you a little bit about their importance as well. So the first one to mention today is the Sierra del Rosario Biosphere Reserve. Actually, it is one of the ones that we visit on our tours. It is in Pinar del Rio province, and it has been declared a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve in 1985. There are over 800 species of plants, various species of birds, and many of them are endemics in this area, in this region. And you can actually go into areas like Soroa and Las Terrazas and Vinales. They fall into this biosphere reserve where you can discover the places a lot closer. So in Vinales, there are special land formations, magotas that you see on the pictures, those two humps, camel's back, or whatever you want to call them, that create a beautiful sight and amazing pictures. Obviously, I mentioned the birds, God knows how many times, around Soroa and Las Terrazas. There is over 100 species around here that you can discover and capture. There is amazing orchid gardens with hundreds of species of orchids that are just absolutely beautiful. So the natural beauty in this area, oh, I don't think words can actually describe it. So please do yourself a favor and check it out. Then when we move, that's in the western region of Cuba. If you then move towards the middle and southern coast of Cuba in the Matanzas province, you will find Ciénaga de Zapata Biosphere Reserve, which is one of the largest in Cuba. It is actually also a Ramsar site due to its importance to the worldwide ecology, not just Cuba, but the worldwide ecosystem, and it's been named a Ramsar site in 2001. It certainly has plenty to see from its swamps, mangroves, forest, unspoiled coral reefs, over 175 species of birds, some amazing flamingos, the Zapata wren, the Zapata rail, the Zapata sparrow, these ones are endemic. The flamingo is actually the American flamingo, so that one is not endemic, but it's still a beautiful sight. Watching them fishing, chucking that prawn into their beak, and due to the amazing bird life and diving sites, it is one of the areas that we often frequent on our tours. Then declared a biosphere reserve in 1987, the Cuchillas del Toro Biosphere Reserve is situated in the Greater Antilles in the eastern part of Cuba. Most of the reserve is located in the Alexander de Humboldt National Park, which is near Bacoao, which in itself just an absolutely beautiful site. It's got white sand beaches, black sand beaches, rivers, waterfalls, just untouched natural beauty. It actually also has an amazing karstic system of the Great Cave of Moorhead Island, and it is one of the 5 natural monuments in Cuba. It is actually one of the great cave systems in eastern Cuba, and these are just a few things to mention in that biosphere reserve. You can actually spend days and days just discovering that area. Then declared a biosphere reserve in 1987. The Baconao Biosphere Reserve is located in the Neotropics province of the Greater Antilles in southern eastern region of Cuba, between Santiago de Cuba and the province of Guantanamo. This beautiful area is just absolutely picturesque. It's got a rocky seaside, got sandy habitats, mangroves, cave ecosystems, and much more to see. One of the things that we can mention here is actually the endemic species of bats, things like the funnel-eared bat, the bulldog bat, the pallid bat, and the Cuban fruit-eating bat are all found here. There are also plenty of spiders and insects in this area as well, obviously for these guys to eat as well. Now, this one I probably won't pronounce correctly because it's about this long, but the Península de Guanahacabibes, sorry, I can't say this right, so I'll probably put this into the wording below. Again, it's been a biosphere reserve since 1987. It is situated in the southern western tip of Cuba. This reserve is one of the country's largest natural reserve after Santiago de Zapata, and it is divided up by white sand plains and over 100 lakes, which is just a sight to behold, as well as some of the largest and purest silica reserves, like the silica sand reserves that you will find here. This area, this peninsula, was actually one of the last refuges of the indigenous people escaping from the Spanish inhibitors. As such, it actually holds 140 archaeological sites that is connected to the indigenous life in Cuba. Then, if we move further to the north coast of Cuba, there is the Buena Vista Biosphere Reserve, which is parts of Villa Clara, Sancti Spiritus, and Diego de Avila provinces actually form part of this reserve. It actually comprises of 2 national parks, Caguanes and Santa Maria Key. It has 11 areas which protects the country's abundance of flora and fauna and contains exceptional cultural and historical values, with 35 archaeological sites and caves and rural art, wall paintings and things like that you can find here and view here that was left behind by the indigenous community. So each of the biosphere reserves have something different, but they are all truly magical and absolutely wonderful, well worth a visit and discovery. Now, do yourself a favor and go and look them up so you can read more about them, learn more about them, and see some amazing pictures for the time being until you can come and see them live on your next visit to Cuba. I'll see you later.